Hello and welcome to 2CrazyMedia. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm going to be going over all the announcements that happened last week at CinemaCon. That's right, last week was CinemaCon in Vegas. Talked a little bit about it in some of the videos last week, including some of the big announcements. But I decided that, I'm going to do a full video kind of just explaining every single announcement. All of the movies that were announced, all the trailers, everything like that, what was shown, just kind of do a big deep dive into all of the presentations and all the panels from Sony to Warner Brothers to Universal to Paramount to Amazon MGM and also Disney, because there were a lot of big announcements, a lot of trailers shown exclusively to just the audience of CinemaCon. If you don't know what CinemaCon is basically where all of the big film distributors like Disney, all the big studios, go to Vegas and they basically present their upcoming slate of movies, show off exclusive trailers, reveal stuff to an audience of basically exclusively movie theater owners, big people, big names in the film industry, and also just film media people. And so it's just a way to get movie theater distributors and movie theater owners to care about your upcoming movie. That's what it really is. It's been going on forever now. It happens in Vegas every year around this time, and last week we just got CinemaCon. So got tons of announcements to go through. Just some quick housekeeping before I do that. Sorry, I also, again, this weekend didn't have a news video. I can't say I hope to get actually a news video out. The news, I was originally going to do a news video yesterday instead. Instead of doing it on Sunday, I was just going to do it yesterday. But then I thought most of the news is just going to be CinemaCon stuff, because that's really the biggest news that happened last week, or really most of the news that happened last week was just CinemaCon announcements. And so I thought instead of doing a news video on that, I can instead make that into a Tuesday, Thursday video. So today, and then next weekend I should have a news video, finally a news roundup this upcoming Sunday, because there's already been a ton of big gaming news that's happened in the last 2 days already. So should have more to talk about then, but I thought, instead of just making a news video and talking about CinemaCon, I could just make it its own separate video and just talk about CinemaCon in this video. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Also, just some quick other housekeeping real quick. This Thursday, big video, expect finally a Pragmata review on the channel. I played it throughout the whole weekend. It came out on Thursday, and I played it the whole weekend, from Thursday all the way to just last night when I finished the game. So I just finished the game. I'll give my review opinions, spoiler-free and spoiler-filled. I will start with a spoiler-free review, just give my base thoughts on it, rate it out of 10, all that. And then I'll dive into some story spoilers and stuff like that towards the latter half of the video. So expect a Pragmata review, expect a Pragmata review coming this Thursday. And then obviously, hopefully this Sunday, and finally a news roundup video. But how about we just jump straight into everything that was announced at CinemaCon 2026. I'm going to kind of go in order of all the presentations went in. So start with Sony, then Warner Brothers, then Universal, then Amazon, then Paramount, then finally Disney. But I'm not going to go in order of what was shown off. I'm just going to kind of go all willy-nilly and kind of just go out of order, kind of start with the biggest ones. Obviously, this is all public information, or not like the trailers itself, but everything that was revealed was public information. And so, but I do just want to shout out IGN. They created basically lists for every single presentation of what was shown off, what was released. So I'm just going to go down that list instead of digging through all, because I wasn't there at CinemaCon. Sadly, I would love to be there one day, but I was not there, obviously. So kind of instead of digging through all the tweets from when it was happening, I am thankful to just kind of look online and read this article from IGN and kind of just talk about everything as it goes. So that's what we're going to be doing. So big shout out to IGN for this, and all the articles on what was announced at each presentation. But let's start with Sony. Sony was the first one at Monday night. They had a ton of big reveals. Wasn't, I'd say, the craziest presentation of this year, but it was a pretty good one, I must say. So let's start off with possibly one of the bigger ones, and that was they had a bunch new to show off about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day is, we've already got a trailer for it that came out last month. We even talked about it on a news video on Sunday about me and my co-host Jason. We talked about our thoughts on the trailer. I thought it was fine. Honestly, the trailer didn't really get me hyped for the movie, sadly, or like super hyped. I'm still excited. It's still, at the end of the day, it still is a Spider-Man movie, so it's hard not to be excited. But I didn't love the trailer that much. But I am still looking forward to the film. We didn't get to see anything released to the public other than a few new posters, which look cool. But at CinemaCon, they got to see a exclusive footage from the film, and there was a scene where Spider-Man is talking to Ned. Ned doesn't know who he is, obviously, or Peter Parker's talking to Ned. He meets Peter Parker meets MJ. MJ's got a boyfriend, makes a joke about Peter being like a friendly neighbor, all that. So it sounds fun. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. Tom Holland said that it is the most emotional it's the most emotional and it's the most mature Spider-Man movie, which sounds cool. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man, even though I didn't love the trailer that much. I'm still looking forward to the film itself, and it's coming out, I believe, in July, so not too far away, and I'm looking forward to getting another trailer for it, hopefully soon. But yeah, so that was what was revealed for Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man, another Spider-Man thing was shown off, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's right, finally, after waiting so many years after Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, we finally got to see or hear more footage of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Obviously, the public didn't get to see anything, but they showed off the opening of the film, or at least the first 4 to 7 minutes of the film. People said it looked cool. It opens us right where the last film ends off, which is pretty cool. They got to see that, and they described that and all that. We got to see a few screenshots which looked awesome, and basically just all the reactions that came out of seeing this from all the people that were there. They all said that it looks beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's it's made fully in IMAX, which is going to look insane in theaters, and people are just saying it just looks fantastic. It looks beautiful, looks gorgeous. Animation is so unique, and as always with all these Spider-Verse movies, and yeah, I cannot wait for it. Really, really excited. I love, I think almost most people, I love the first 2 Spider-Verse movies. I think they're both fantastic, and it's been a long wait for the third and final one, but I can't wait. It's gonna probably be so worth the wait, and I'm sure it's gonna be a fantastic film. So really looking forward to that. Alrighty. Next up, probably one of the biggest reveals of CinemaCon, at least for me, one of the coolest reveals, and I'm sure for many of you watching the channel, since this is a very video game focused channel, this was pretty crazy news, and I talked about it. This announcement inspired all of my videos last week, kind of talking about where I talked about every upcoming movie adaptation of a video game and every TV adaptation of a video game. That was my videos last week, and those ideas were spawned because of this announcement at CinemaCon on Monday, and that was Bloodborne is getting a film. It's getting an animated feature film coming from Sony, being produced by Jacksepticeye, and it's going to be R-rated. This was insane news when it was announced. No one knew this was happening. This was just a cool announcement, an unexpected one, and I cannot wait. I love Bloodborne like everyone else does, and for Jacksepticeye to be producing is super cool as well. I talked a lot about this last week's video on Tuesday, so I'm not going to say as much again, but just to go over what it is. It is a animated film, Bloodborne film, and it's going to be R-rated and produced by Jacksepticeye. We don't know really anything else other than that yet, but looking forward to it. Cannot wait. It's awesome. What a cool reveal as well. Next up, a big thing, and Sony actually ended their presentation with Jumanji. We always knew Jumanji 3 was happening. They were filming in LA and other areas last year, like Jack Black and The Rock and Kevin Hart and Karen Gillan and all of them. They had already wrapped filming, I believe, a few months ago, and they revealed the title for the film is Jumanji Open World, which is awesome. It's going to be like the finale of like the Jumanji series that we've been having for the past few years. I've enjoyed the past two Jumanji films. I like the one, like the first one that came out with like The Rock in them. I've never seen the original, but I enjoyed the first one with The Rock. I thought that one's good. The second one, didn't love it that much, but I'm looking forward to the third one. It could be fun. They're always fun movies, I must say, and it seems like they got to, people at CinemaCon got to see an exclusive trailer, and it looks like the video game characters are going into the real world, which looks awesome, and the video game is Enter the Real World, which is pretty cool and a fun idea. Kind of similar to the first movie, with the original one. So looking forward to finally getting a trailer. I believe this comes out in December, so we still have a while to go before we'll probably see anything about it. Like, the public will get to see anything. Next up, probably my most anticipated movie of, definitely my most anticipated movie of the year, and another one I talked about last week on Tuesday, and that is Resident Evil. Zach Cregger's next film after Weapons. He's doing a Resident Evil movie. I cannot wait. This is my most anticipated film of next year. I also talked about this at length on Tuesday last week, but just to kind of go over it again, CinemaCon guests, people in the theater got to see an exclusive trailer, which is the first time anyone's ever seen exclusive footage of the film, or really any footage of the film. People kind of described it as like a horror Fury Road, which is insane. That sounds awesome. It sounds like a dream movie with a lot of Resident Evil stuff, like crazy, creepy monsters like Resident Evil. Maybe even we'll see a Licker, who knows. Got to see Austin Abrams' character in the trailer. I cannot wait till they release this trailer to the public. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to just dig through the trailers and spot all the Easter eggs to the games and stuff. I'm so excited for this film. As someone who loves Resident Evil, this is my most anticipated film of the year, easily, without a doubt. Like, I am so happy that we are getting another Resident Evil film, and for it to be directed by one of the best horror directors in the modern era. Zach Cregger is just awesome. So I cannot wait for this film. Super excited. Seems like what they showed off, like they showed off some footage they described it as there was a man walking towards a house in snow, which is different from anything in the games. So definitely taking his own steps with the film as compared to the games, not fully based off the games, all that. It's going to be its own original story in the universe, which I think is a cool idea. His car is broken down. He needs to use a phone. Sees a giant guy at the end of a hallway in like a dark tunnel. So like that's pretty creepy. We get shots of him running through a town. And yeah, it just sounds like awesome footage. Cannot wait to see it. Cannot wait for it to be released to the public. And it's coming out September 18th, so pretty cool. Next up, we got a trailer. Actually, this is one of the few trailers. It's rare that we get trailers released to the public from CinemaCon. Usually, it's all just the trailers and the footage shown is exclusively for the people in the theater, and then we just get to hear about it. Like, we get it described. This time, Insidious, the next one, Insidious Out of the Further, they did release a trailer online. I watched it. It looks fun. It looks scary. I'm not a big Insidious fan. I've never seen any of the Insidious movies, but I just know of it because like it was at Halloween Horror Nights last year, and the house was cool. But like I've heard of Insidious. I've heard of the movies. I've heard the first few are good, but like really scary. And I've heard like the latest few have been not great at all. So we'll see how this one is. It's coming out August 21st in theaters, and if you enjoy the trailer, let me know because I thought the trailer looked fun. They said it was the scariest Insidious movie yet, which sounds pretty cool. Next up, they showed off The Social Reckoning. This is the sequel to, or sort of the pseudo-sequel to The Social Network. This is being directed by Aaron Sorkin, who wrote the first film, but didn't direct it. It was directed by Aaron Sorkin. This time, by David Fincher. And this time, Aaron Sorkin who wrote it, is coming to now write and direct the sort of sequel, The Social Reckoning. This film instead it's a drama. It's being described as a thriller instead of a drama like the first film was, and kind of the synopsis is this film tells the story of how Francis Hagen, played by Mikey Madison, who is a young Facebook engineer, enlisted the help of Jeff Horowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter played by Jeremy Allen White, to go on a dangerous journey that ended up blowing the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets. So it looks to be like more of a legal drama. It's got a pretty cool cast. A lot of people, they showed off an exclusive trailer to just the audience. Some people said it looked really good. Some people said it looked kind of meh. Who knows? I don't have much faith in this one, to be honest with you. I think Aaron Sorkin is a good writer, but I don't love Aaron Sorkin that much. I think he's got a really unique writing with cadence, but I don't know if he's the best director, in my opinion, at least. Though a lot of people were talking about, especially Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg, and how just that performance is going to blow up the internet, which I can't wait. Jeremy Strong is a fantastic actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing his portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg. I've heard that is just wild. But yeah, that was shown off. And then a couple other things they talked about. They gave a quick little talk about The Legend of Zelda, which has officially wrapped filming, which is awesome. Super looking forward. Again, talked about this also last week on Tuesday about how they just wrapped filming The Legend of Zelda movie. Really looking forward to it. They didn't really show off any footage or anything, but just said it is coming out May 7th, 2027, so just a year away. We also got a quick update of the Helldivers movie, which is awesome. This is coming from Justin Lin. Again, another one that I talked about last week on Tuesday, the Helldivers movie, coming from director Justin Lin. It's going to be filming pretty soon, releasing in theaters November 10th, 2027, starring Jason Momoa. Looking forward to it. Cannot wait. I like Justin Lin. I like Jason Momoa. I love Helldivers. Seems like an awesome combination. Hopefully it's good. Next up, we got a few films from TriStar. We have Clara and the Sun, which is Taika Waititi's new film. It's going to be coming in theaters October 23rd, and they got to see an exclusive trailer. Basically, it follows an artificial friend, played by Jenna Ortega, who wants to find the perfect home, and she is chosen by a girl named Josie, played by Mia Thuria, but her mom, played by Amy Adams, is very wary of her, so it seems like maybe like a lighter, happier version of Megan, without like the horror and murder and all that stuff, so sounds like it could be like a cute, sounds like definitely like a Sundance, Toronto Film Festival type of movie, for sure. Or like a Telluride, like premiered film. We also got to see or hear about The Nightingale, which is based on a book from Kristen Hanna, and it has just begun filming, and it will tell the story of two sisters played by Dakota and Elle Fanning, which is cool, in occupied France during World War II, which sounds interesting, and the film will arrive on February 12th, 2027, and then finally, they showed off Takashi Yamazaki's next film, Grand Gear, which will be coming in theaters February 18th, 2028, and is being produced by J.J. Abrams. At CinemaCon, they got to see a very early clip, even though it hasn't begun filming yet, just a very early, like, pre-rendered clip, and it was, like, giant robots fighting kaiju in a city, so sounds like a total Pacific Rim film, which sounds really cool. Yamazaki always has like that type of really big grand scale with films, so I'm really looking forward to see what he can do with like a Pacific Rim type story. That'll be awesome. And then finally, the last like big announcement at Sony was Sony's next animated film called Buzz. Sony Animation has been killing it lately with all their animated movies, and their next one is going to be called Buzz, which is an upcoming animated film that explores what happens when plants break their rule of not talking to humans. And a plant breaks that rule in the film to save a friend. And it's releasing in theaters December 22nd, 2027, which sounds cute. It sounds like a fun story. Again, Sony Animation has been killing it lately in the past few years. Every single year they've had at least one breakout fantastic animated film come out, so I'm sure next year, and even this year as well, whatever they have, but I'm sure next year with Buzz will say the same. I'm sure it'll be great. But that is all from Sony. If I missed anything from any of these, whether it's Sony or any presentations, let me know in the comments below. Again, there was so much announcements last week at CinemaCon, so many reveals that it's kind of just impossible to not only find everything online, but also remember everything myself. Like, a lot of this I'm reading online, a lot of this I am sort of just remembering from my own memory of what I remember hearing last week. So it is a lot to remember, so if I miss anything, definitely let me know in the comments below. That will be helpful for both me and everyone else here that maybe didn't know about something else, and they get to read the comments and see, oh wow, that's cool. But let's move on to the next presentation on Tuesday, and that was Warner Brothers. This was a pretty big one. Had a lot of talk about. They've got a lot of upcoming movies this year, and next year some big stuff, and in the following years as well. So first off, one of the bigger things they revealed was Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. They showed off a very short little teaser that they kind of released online. It was a very short one that really just showed off like a cave, and then you see Gollum, and then they showed off the cast. Yeah, not much shown for it, but it's pretty crazy, at least the cast list that they showed off. We've got Andy Serkis returning as Gollum and Smeagol, Ian McKellen returning as Gandalf, Kate Winslet as Marigold, Elijah Wood is returning as Frodo Baggins, which is awesome. Lee Pace is Thranduil. Jamie Dornan is going to be playing Strider, and Leo Whittle is going to be Halvard. Okay, quick thing, and I have actually never seen any Lord of the Rings movies. I know it's a series that I really want to get to. It's just such a time commitment, but I will definitely watch them before this film comes out, and probably as soon as we start getting big trailers for this film, I will probably go back and watch the big three. I've never gotten around to watching them, to be honest. I'm not a big fantasy guy. Fantasy is one of my least favorite genres, and I don't know why. I feel like I would love fantasy movies, but I just don't. Which kind of sucks, because I feel like it'd be a genre that I would love, but I just don't love fantasy that much. Which is why I've just never really had a true passion to watch The Lord of the Rings. But like, with the news of the next film, Hunt for Gollum, coming, and also like KindaFunny, they've been doing with their screencast, they've been doing Lord of the Rings in review, and they've been watching all three of the Lord of the Rings movies, and so that's kind of making me want to watch them as well. So yeah, if I do watch them soon, maybe I'll talk about my experience watching them on the channel. But yes, some big casting news for Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum, which I believe is coming out December 17th, 2027. So it's gonna be a big movie at the end of the year, around the same time as Sony Animation's Buds. So we'll see those two coming out around the same time. Next up, Warner Brothers ended their showcase on Tuesday with 7 minutes of Dune Part 3. Actually, the opening of the film they showed off to exclusively. Again, this was another, like most everything showed off, this was exclusively shown to the people in the theater. It was the first 7 minutes of Dune Part 3, kind of very much, people described it as very much inspired by like the opening of Saving Private Ryan, but on like an alien planet. It sounds awesome. Again, this, just like with Spider-Man Brand New Day, the trailer came out last month, and me and Jason talked about it on the channel, our thoughts, and like we both talked about just how excited we are for Dune Part 3. I cannot wait. It is, just like Resident Evil, one of my most anticipated films of the year. I love the first two Dune movies. I think they are fantastic. Dune Part 2, in my opinion, is one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made, and I'm so excited for Dune Part 3. I cannot wait. The first trailer looked phenomenal, like blew me away, and from everything that I read of how they're describing the first opening 7 minutes of the film, it just sounds like it's going to be just as good. So really, really, really looking forward to seeing more. Next up, they also showed off a new clip from Mortal Kombat 2, another exclusive clip just shown to the people in the theater. Shows off Johnny Cage facing off against Baraka. This is another film that I talked about extensively last Tuesday on the video game adaptations, movie video game adaptations video. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2. I enjoyed the first one, it was fun. I'm looking forward to the second one. Comes out in like a few weeks, like pretty soon from now, so definitely gonna see it in theaters, get a review on the channel as soon as it's out. But yeah, I don't need to see any more trailers. I don't need to see anything else from this film. I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing the movie. I like the first one, and I love Mortal Kombat as a series, so I'm definitely looking for this one. And Johnny Cage is my favorite Mortal Kombat character, so I'm just kind of looking forward to just to see Johnny Cage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They talked a lot about Supergirl, as that is their next big movie coming from Warner Brothers. This is coming July, if I remember correctly. I'm looking forward to Supergirl, but not like insanely excited for it. I think the trailers that we've gotten so far, some look good, some look fine. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I will be seeing it opening weekend, just like most of these big movies coming out this year, and we'll like obviously have a review on the channel as soon as I go see it. But yeah, I just don't have that much excitement for it, at least as much as I did for like Superman, which like I could not wait for that film. So yeah, but I'm hoping it is good. They showed off new footage that we didn't get to see. It was just exclusive to the people in the audience. Some new fighting scenes, some new like fight scenes that people said looked cool, and also Lobo on a bike, which is awesome. Yeah, I feel like we already know so much about Supergirl. I don't need to see any more trailers or footage. I'm just gonna see the movie no matter what. Alrighty, I feel like we've seen enough. They also showed off, speaking of DC, they also showed off exclusive footage of Clayface, which I'm really excited for. I know the public hasn't seen anything of Clayface yet. No trailers, no posters, no nothing. They got to see an exclusive trailer, and from what they said, this is a full-on horror movie. This is not like a superhero movie that they said is horror, like a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. No, this is just a straight-up horror film. And at least that's what people who got to see the footage described it as, and I'm really excited for this. I love horror, and I love Clayface. I love anything Batman related, whether it's a Batman villain or Batman himself. I always think Batman goes so well with the horror genre, and being scary, and his villains being the scariest villains of any superhero's rogues gallery. So I am really looking forward to Clayface. I cannot wait for this movie. From what they described from the footage, he's got like a bandage all around his face is falling off in the tub. This film, from what they described, looks bonkers, and I heard we're getting a trailer just today, as of recording this today on Tuesday, April 21st. I believe we're getting a trailer tomorrow, Wednesday, April 22nd. Don't quote me on that one if you're watching it today. If you're watching it on Wednesday, tomorrow, and didn't get a trailer, then I read wrong, but I read from a bunch of places online that we could be getting a trailer tomorrow, which, if so, cannot wait to see this film. Super looking forward to it, and yeah, I think Clayface is awesome, and it's releasing in theaters October 23rd, 2026. Alrighty. And then final thing about DC that they talked about the Warner Brothers panel is that filming for Man of Tomorrow is set to begin next week, or now this week, which is super cool. Really looking forward to Man of Tomorrow. And this is the sequel to Superman that came out last year from James Gunn. James Gunn is again directing Man of Tomorrow. It's gonna kind of feature a team up between Superman and Lex Luthor. We got some new casting info, like Adria Arjona is playing Maxima, which is a character I don't know much about, so I'm excited to learn more leading up to the movie, and I'm just really looking forward to. I love the first Superman movie that came out last year, and cannot wait for the sequel. And yeah, so filming is beginning this week, which is awesome. Next up, Tom Cruise and Alejandro G. Inarritu discussed and revealed new footage of Digger. Again, we've only seen a little teaser of this film, not much, and the trailer that they showed off to CinemaCon was exclusive to the theater, though people described it, talked about Tom Cruise's acting was really good in it. He's got crazy prosthetics, crazy like fat suit, kind of like if you ever seen Tropic Thunder, like a Les Grossman sort of look to him, which I think is awesome. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to what Digger is about. I love Tom Cruise. I love Alejandro G. Inarritu, and I'm excited from what I've heard. It's funny, it's dramatic. Who knows? But yeah, it's coming out October 2nd, and hopefully we get the trailer sometime soon. Next up, they got to see new footage of Evil Dead Burn. This is the next Evil Dead movie coming from a new director after Evil Dead Rise from Lee Cronin. I loved Evil Dead Rise. What an awesome horror movie. That one of my favorites of that year. And also I love Evil Dead 2013. I think all the Evil Dead films are awesome. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to Evil Dead Burn. This is coming from, I believe Sebastian Vanisek is the director for this film. I could be wrong, but they just talked about, they got to see an exclusive trailer, which we did not get, but we did get another teaser trailer released online just today, which looked awesome. It was like sort of a one shot of a girl like crawling through like a house while people are being flung through the room, being dragged away. There are people hovering. It looks terrifying. It looks awesome. Cannot wait for this. There's rumors that this could be coming to Halloween Horror Nights as a house this year, and Evil Dead Rise had a house and the year it came out, and I thought it was a great house, one of my favorites of that year, and so I would definitely welcome with open arms a Evil Dead Burn house. Yeah, so really, really, really looking forward to this new film from one of my favorite movie franchises, at least in the horror genre. Some of the stuff they talked about that were shown off in this trailer just sounds insane. I cannot wait to see the trailer, like the full trailer for it, not just a teaser, which also looked really good. Next up, Warner Brothers kind of just revealed a lot of upcoming movies for the full slate for 2027 and beyond. I'm just going to list off a really long list of films. We've got Animal Friends. Some of them I've got details for, some of them I don't. So we have Animal Friends, Remain, Panic Carefully, Godzilla x Kong Supernova, Untitled, FAST film, not Fast and Furious, I don't really know what FAST is, Bad Fairies, Man of Tomorrow, a Minecraft sequel, which is now the title I talked about last week. The name is going to be a Minecraft sequel, which looking forward to that. Shiver, The Conjuring, First Communion, The Batman Part 2, probably my most anticipated film coming next year. No, definitely my most anticipated film coming next year, as you can tell from the poster behind me. I love The Batman. It's my favorite movie of all time. We got Margie Claus, Gremlins, new one, The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, Ocean's prequel, which is pretty cool. They talked a little bit more about the Ocean's prequel movie starring Margot Robbie and Bradley Cooper, where they play Danny Ocean's parents and are doing a heist in like the 1960s at the Monaco Grand Prix. So sounds awesome. Really looking forward to that movie. They also revealed a new Nancy Meyers film, Ti Amo, which I'll kind of get into a little in a minute. Oh, The Places You'll Go, Dynamic Duo, Hello Kitty, The Lunar Chronicles, Final Destination 7, The Revenge of La Llorona, Evil Dead Wrath, a new Baz Luhrmann film, Gladys, which is awesome, a new Gladys prequel film, The Flood, which is just announced. It's a brand new Zach Cregger. It's Zach Cregger's next movie that he's going to be directing after Resident Evil. He's writing and directing as a sci-fi horror film. Yeah, Zach Cregger is doing a sci-fi horror film that's kind of described to be a little bit like Alien. That's awesome. I cannot wait. Game of Thrones, Aegon's Conquest, and more to come. So Warner Brothers has a pretty crazy lineup coming next year and the following years. Like, pretty crazy, I'd say. They have a stacked lineup. Talking about a couple more details, getting into a few details about some of those films I talked about. Jack Black was there. Film Minecraft 2, Minecraft sequels filming soon. We have Remain, which is M. Night Shyamalan's next film coming out this year, and it's his first ghost movie since Sixth Sense, which is awesome. Melissa McCarthy showed up as Margie Claus in hopes to save Christmas, so a Christmas movie with Melissa McCarthy. We have Shiver, which is a new shark movie starring Keanu Reeves, directed by Tim Miller, which is pretty awesome. And then Sam Raimi promised the Evil Dead Wrath, which is another Evil Dead film coming out next year from another different director. Sam Raimi promised it will be the most terrifying Evil Dead yet, which sounds awesome. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. And kind of just want to talk finally at the start of the Warner Brothers showcase, they revealed their new label, Warner Brothers Clockwork, which is sort of for specialty films. It's kind of think of a Universal Focus or Searchlight Pictures, something similar to that. And their first movie is going to be a new Sean Baker film, the director of Anora, Ti Amo, which is coming out next year, so pretty cool. And that is all from Warner Brothers. Now on to Universal Pictures. They started the show, Universal, on Wednesday with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg came out, did a performance, sung some songs, and then announced that there's a Snoop Dogg biopic in the works, which is pretty cool. Jonathan Davis, who was in Outer Banks, he's going to be playing Snoop Dogg, and it's going to be directed by Craig Brewer. Yeah, pretty cool. Snoop Dogg biopic. We're getting a biopic of every music artist these days, from Queen to Michael Jackson lately, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, all of them. And now we're getting a Snoop Dogg biopic. So looking forward to that. I think it's coming out next year. So we'll see. So that was announced first. And then Christopher Nolan came out and talked about The Odyssey, showed off some more footage. I heard that most of the footage was what was shown off in IMAX a few months ago. I never got to see that footage, but I think, no, they released it online, so never mind. I did see that. Or at least I think that's what they released online. But I cannot wait for The Odyssey. They didn't say much about it other than Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, and Tom Holland are the central trio that anchors the film. But they showed off some new footage, but most of it was stuff people have already seen, though I'm really looking for The Odyssey. Again, just like Dune, just like Resident Evil, one of my more anticipated films of the year. Cannot wait for The Odyssey. I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic, and really look forward to it. We're not too far away. It's just coming out in July, so pretty close. We also, from Illumination, we got to see Minions and Monsters, which is the next Minions movie. They showed off a new trailer exclusively to the people at CinemaCon. We've already seen that there's already been a trailer released at the Super Bowl for Minions and Monsters. I didn't think it looked great, to be honest with you, though I didn't really like the last Despicable Me movie anyways in theaters. I thought that was pretty bad. So I don't know if I'm the most excited for this film, but at least from what they described in the footage at CinemaCon, they said it looks good. So who knows? Maybe the new trailer will come out soon and it'll look better. But so we got a new Minions and Monsters movie coming out, I believe pretty soon. Next off, they showed an exclusive trailer to CinemaCon for Violent Night 2. If you don't know what Violent Night is, the first one came out a few years ago. It's basically a movie where Santa Claus, played by David Harbour, is has to rescue a family that's being held hostage in a house, and kills all the bad guys. Basically, he's a killer Santa, but a kind of a good guy. Not a bad guy, not a horror sort of murderer. And yeah, we're getting a sequel with Mrs. Claus being played by Kirsten Bell. Sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there in theaters. I don't know. Maybe we'll get the trailer soon. Next up, this is a trailer. This is a film that we got a trailer for released online, and that is Focker-in-Law. Meet the Fockers, a new one with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro returning. Pretty fun comedy movie from back in the day. And we're getting a new one with all the cast returning, and now Skylar Gisondo is playing Ben Stiller's grown-up son, and Ariana Grande is playing his son's new girlfriend. I'm really they revealed the trailer. They released it online same time, and I think it looks funny. I don't know, the trailer seemed a little song choice and everything a little generic. I'm a little, but I think it'll be fun at the end of the day. It is Ben Stiller, it is Robert De Niro. Ariana Grande looks fun in it. Yeah, and I think it'll be a fun little comedy movie that families will enjoy. So we got to see that, and that was cool that they released it online for everyone to see. We also got to see 2 major upcoming Focus Features film release trailers. We got to see Sense and Sensibility, which I don't really know much about, but that was something they got to see exclusively at CinemaCon. And then they also got to exclusively see a trailer for Robert Eggers' next film, Werewolf, which I'm really excited for. I've loved everything Robert Eggers has done in the past. Nosferatu, his latest film, was really, really good. And I'm excited to see what he does with a sort of period-accurate werewolf movie this time instead of Nosferatu. Starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson as the werewolf. Lily Rose Depp is returning, Willem Dafoe, so it seems like most of Robert Eggers' main players from Nosferatu are returning, which sounds awesome. I cannot wait to see a full trailer released to the public, though people that got to see the trailer at CinemaCon talked about it looks very gothic, very cold color palette, and just looks like another really good Robert Eggers film, which sounds awesome to me. Next up, Steven Spielberg talked about Disclosure Day. We've already seen multiple trailers for this film, multiple clips, all that stuff. It's coming out in a few months from now. I'm really excited. Again, it's Steven Spielberg. How could you not be excited for a new Steven Spielberg film? This one finally is returning back to aliens and UFOs. They didn't really share much about it. They just, I think, showed off an exclusive footage to the people in the theater at CinemaCon. So we didn't really get to see anything new, but still really looking forward to this film. Cannot wait. That was all from Universal. Let me just check. Oh, I missed one thing from Warner Brothers, and that was J.J. Abrams' next film, The Great Beyond, which is starring Glenn Powell and it's Glenn Powell. Though I heard people didn't say it looked great. I heard only kind of negative things, sadly, from it. Oh, and also Practical Magic 2 with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. And that's what I missed from Warner Brothers as well. And then, Universal, pretty cool. Now on to Amazon MGM, which most people said they had the best presentation of the week, which is pretty cool. Good for Amazon. They've been having a really good past few weeks with Project Hail Mary, and then now supposedly a really, really good CinemaCon panel. But what was revealed, their biggest thing they revealed was Spaceballs 2, which is titled Spaceballs the New One. Finally, a new Spaceballs movie with the same old cast plus new people. I like the original I haven't seen the original Spaceballs in years, so I barely remember it. But they got to see an exclusive trailer at CinemaCon. Hopefully it will be released to the public sooner than later. But this will definitely be one that I'll see in theaters. People said that the trailer was very meta. The jokes were very funny. There was a scene where you had a Navi pissing in a urinal. So I'm sure it'll be very meta, very funny. It is coming April 23rd, 2027. Next up, they showed more footage exclusively to CinemaCon of Masters of the Universe. We've seen a bunch of trailers for this film. It's coming out pretty soon, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen the show Masters of the Universe. I don't know much about it. That's definitely not my age range. It's way older than me. But just from the trailers alone, I think it looks like a lot of fun, so I'll probably see it just because the trailers look fun. They also showed off Highlander. This is Highlander is a movie. I've never seen the original Highlander, but they are rebooting it with Kaczynski, with Joseph Kaczynski, I believe his name. Whatever, the guy who did, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who directed the John Wick movies. Chad Stahelski, there we go. Chad Stahelski. He's directing it, which is awesome. So, and they got to see an exclusive trailer for it, and with Henry Cavill starring as the lead. Dave Bautista plays a villain, and they just said it looks awesome. Very much like John Wick, with like very visually dynamic, a lot of neons, nighttime fighting, car chases, awesome sword fighting, like, and then it really just, it's, at least from what they described the trailer, it just sounds like a lot like John Wick, which I'm always in for. I love John Wick. One of my favorite movie franchises. John Wick 4 is just a masterpiece, and anything that's kind of similar to John Wick from the director of John Wick, I'm fully in, so I cannot wait for this. Probably one of the most talked about trailers, and this is a surprising one, one of the most talked about trailers that came out of the week, and also one of the ones that people said was one of the best trailers that people saw, was the Thomas Crown Affair, which is coming from Michael B. Jordan. This is his next movie that he's directing, which is awesome. Obviously he had a very good last year with Sinners and then this year he won an Oscar for it. So he's having a great few years so far, and he's probably continuing that streak with the Thomas Crown Affair, which people said looked awesome from the trailer. Obviously, it was released exclusively to just CinemaCon. We probably won't see it for a while, since it's not coming out till next year. But people said it looks sleek. It looks kind of like a James Bond film. It's being composed by John Batiste. It's also starring Adria Arjona. Kenneth Branagh is the villain, very like Tenet style. People just said it's like a mix of like Tenet and like James Bond and other stuff, and it just looks awesome, or at least it sounds awesome from what people have said. So I'm all in on this film already. I think it looks awesome. I think it sounds great, and I can't wait to finally see a trailer for this film. Next up, they showed exclusive footage of The Beekeeper 2. This is a funny one. I watched The Beekeeper like a year or two ago with my dad. We thought it was really dumb, but also kind of fun and hilarious. Like, I know Jason Statham, the whole joke is like all of his movies lately are just him. Is like a dude with like a normal job or something, but turns out that he's actually like a cool badass like ass kicker, and he's got to go like fight people and be like, oh, he's just a beekeeper, or he's just a handyman, he's just a construction man. Or I will say the movie that came out like last year, 2 years ago, where he played the construction worker, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Terrible. Though I really like The Beekeeper, though, funny enough. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was like, after I watched The Beekeeper 1, I was like, I'm fully in on Beekeeper 2. They got to see exclusive footage of it. They talked about, like, in the trailer, Jason Statham puts a flamethrower right out of the person's head and then makes a pun after. It sounds fun. It sounds goofy. People said it looks absolutely insane. Though they talked about there's a Cybertruck in the film. The last film with Jason Statham, the stupid construction worker movie, also had a Cybertruck in it. I don't know what his obsession is with Cybertrucks. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to The Beekeeper 2. I thought The Beekeeper 1 was a blast. It was really dumb. One of the dumbest movies I've ever seen, but it's fun. I enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to the sequel. People said it looks really over the top, and it's coming out January 15th, 2027. Next up, I don't really have much to say about this one, but I Play Rocky. It's kind of a movie. I don't know if it's a documentary, a biopic about like Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. I don't know much about it, but it's releasing in theaters November 13th, 2026. They also showed exclusive footage for The Sheep Detectives, which is a murder mystery movie. We've already had trailers for it. I've seen the trailer in theaters. It's starring Hugh Jackman and Nicholas Braun, and a bunch of talking sheep. And they try to solve a murder. Yeah, it's coming out May 8th, 2026, so actually in like 2 weeks or something. They also showed a trailer for How to Rob a Bank, which was an exclusive trailer they got to see, being directed by David Leitch, who is a great director. At least I really enjoy all of his work. It stars Nicholas Hoult and Pete Davidson as like bank robbers, and also John C. Reilly as a cop. and Zoe Kravitz is a hacker. From what they've described of the trailer, it's like about like a bunch of bank robbers who like record their stuff on YouTube, like kind of detailing how to rob a bank. As the title, "How to Rob a Bank." And people said that the trailers just looked like a lot of fun, and yeah, people said it looked like a blast, and I'm really looking forward to it just from the description of the trailer that people have. They also got a look at a film titled "Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother," which is a new film starring Mahershala Ali and directed by Bassam Tariq. He plays like an assassin or something. I'm interested because I like Mahershala Ali, but like I don't think Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother is a good title. I think that's a pretty bad title. They should probably change that. I don't think anyone's gonna want to see a film titled that. At least I think so. And that was really all that was revealed at Amazon. The one disappointing part that we didn't hear anything about at Amazon was no James Bond news, which that's like their big thing. I love James Bond. I know many of you love James Bond. We're all looking forward to who's going to be casted. We didn't get to hear anything. They just said casting's currently underway, so hopefully we'll hear sometime this year about who's playing the next James Bond, because I can't wait. Alrighty, next up, second to last one, we have Paramount Pictures. This is another pretty big one. They revealed a couple dormant movies that are getting new sequels. We're getting a new Top Gun 3, which just announced today. Joseph Kosinski is not returning to direct, which is a little scary, but it's still starring Tom Cruise, so hopefully they'll find someone good to direct it. They discussed the new James Mangold directed, Timothy Chalamet starring movie The High Side, which I've heard is like about like bike criminals or something, which is awesome. Talked about the new Call of Duty movie. No updates on the actual film, but just a release date coming sometime in talked about it on last week's videos, which I talked about it at length and all that stuff. Who's directing, who's writing it. So if you want to know more about the Call of Duty movie, watch my video last week. They confirmed that they're working on new Star Trek movies, new G.I. Joe films, new Transformers movies, a new World War Z, Sonic the Hedgehog, which I'll talk about in a second, a new Paranormal Activity movie, Possession, new Longlegs movie, which was just announced recently, and a new Jackass film. So they have a lot in the works. They've also got Damien Chazelle's next film starring Cillian Murphy and Daniel Craig. Tiana Taylor is directing a dance movie, Get Light. Robert Rodriguez is The Naughty List. James Wan's English language remake of the 2019 South Korean action thriller, The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil. Pretty cool. They got to see an exclusive first look at Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Again, another one I talked about at length last week's video, that we got to hear new footage of it. They showed off Dr. Robotnik's back, Jim Carrey. He always says that he's done with acting, he's not going to be in any movies anymore, but then he always shows up again in the Sonic movies. That man loves Sonic. I love that. I kind of love that. I think it's kind of cute that he loves Sonic that much. Where he won't star in any film other than Sonic, which I think is pretty funny as Dr. Robotnik. Pretty Jim Carrey. We got a quick update at TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2, which I can't wait for. I thought the first TMNT movie, Mutant Mayhem film, was fantastic. Really loved it. So I'm really looking forward to a sequel. And they announced they're still working on it. John Krasinski gave us more updates on A Quiet Place Part 3, which also looking forward to. Call of Duty is coming out June 30th, 2028, which will be very exciting. They showed off some footage of James Cameron's new Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour movie, which is a tour of Billie Eilish's new tour. I saw the trailer in theaters when I saw Private Home Mary, and I think it looks really good. probably won't be seeing in theaters just because I was actually there in person. I got to go to the concert in 2020. It's 2024. Is at the end of 2024. Saw it in concert with my co-host Jason. We went together to go see the Hit Me Hard and Soft concert, Billie Eilish concert, and it was fantastic. It was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. I'm a big Billie Eilish fan. It was a fantastic concert and with really cool visuals, and I think it's really cool that James Cameron is doing kind of like a tour movie for it. It's kind of similar to like an Eras tour, but this time Billie Eilish and filmed in like crazy 3D cameras and stuff. Really looking forward to it from James Cameron. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to do pretty well in theaters. I won't be seeing it because I was there in person at the concert, so I'm like, I don't need to see it again in theaters. But if you didn't get to go to the concerts and you like Billie Eilish, then definitely check this one out. It seems awesome, and the concert was just fantastic alone. So I think the movie will be pretty good as well. Next up, they got to see more exclusive footage of Scary Movie 6. We've already seen trailer for it. It looks fun. I'm looking forward. I like the old Scary Movie films. I think they're all really goofy and funny. So we got some more of that. They're parodying a bunch of movies like Weapons and Get Out and Substance and Sinners, just a ton. It's crazy that all those films came out recently and they're already like parodying them, so pretty good on them for being that quick with it. They also got to see an exclusive trailer for Jackass Best and Last, which is the last Jackass film, they've said. I've never seen a Jackass movie, though I've seen clips of them all, and I think they're all pretty funny. So if you're looking forward to it, then yeah. New Jackass movie. They talked a little bit about their animation lineup. We got the Paw Patrol Dino movie, Angry Birds 3, which I talked about at length in last week's video. They started it with new Street Fighter footage, which a trailer was released online. Looks awesome. The teaser trailer they released at the Game Awards looked already fantastic, even though it was a very quick teaser trailer. But even the new one that we got to see a few days ago that was released online looks awesome. I'm really looking forward to the Street Fighter movie. I think it looks like he's not taking itself seriously at all, and it knows what it is, and it's adapting it really well. And it's either going to be really, really good or just really, really bad and no in between, and I hope it's really, really good. Because it looks like a blast. It looks like a ton of fun. They also got to see exclusive footage of Mr. Irrelevant, the John Tuggle story, which is a new film from starring David Cornsweet. It's a true story about like a football player. So if you like that, then this could be the film for you. They got to see exclusive footage of a movie I've never heard of until now, The Heart of the Beast, which is a new Brad Pitt movie coming from director David Ayer, and it's a survival drama which Brad Pitt stars as an ex-Special Forces operative still bonded with the dog he served alongside, and they have a plane crash in the wilderness, and the dog saves Pitt's character, and they have to make it back to civilization. So it's like one of those like cute, like dramatic survival movies of like a man and his dog, starring Brad Pitt. They showed off footage of the new Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, coming from director Ty West, which is a very strange combination, and is starring Johnny Depp. We didn't get to see footage, it was exclusive. Sounds interesting. And then finally, they showed off, again, also exclusive to CinemaCon, a trailer for Children of Blood and Bone, which is coming from director Gina Prince Blythewood and stars pretty crazy cast. Shweedle Ejiofor, Regina King, Amandla Stenberg, Tamsin Idris, Thuso Mbedu. Looks like it's a pretty stacked cast. Viola Davis. It's a pretty crazy cast, and they showed off a trailer. Supposedly it looks pretty good. And yeah, I think this will be a pretty big one when it comes out in 2027. And then finally, the final panel of the week, Disney ended it off in a big way. I'm gonna end it off with Avengers. So first I'll start with Mandalorian Grogu. They showed off like I think 14 minutes of the film to people. To be honest with you, I'm not that excited for Mandalorian Grogu. I like Star Wars. I don't love Star Wars. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I've seen all the Star Wars movies. I think they're all good to they all range from really good to really, really bad. And I watched a lot of the Star Wars shows, but I low-key in the last few years haven't seen any. I kind of just fell off into like Mandalorian season 3. Like I haven't seen really any of the latest shows, not even Andor, which is one I actually do want to watch. That's one but the rest I don't really care for, except for Andor. I do want to get around to watching that sometime soon. But yeah, Mandalorian Grogu. I'm not excited for that. This is film. I don't even know if I'm going to see it in theaters. I probably will just to like talk about it, make a video on it. But I'm not that excited. I didn't like the latest Mandalorian season that I watched. I thought it was just kind of side quests after side quests after side quests, and I feel like that's what I'm worried this movie's going to be as well. I don't know why they're turning into a film. I'm a little worried about it. I don't think it's going to be great. A lot of people said they watched the opening footage at CinemaCon that was exclusive, and they said it still didn't really wow them, so who knows. I don't think this one's actually going to make a lot of money. I think it's going to kind of shock people with how little money it makes. Though I am hoping to be proven wrong. I'm hoping that it makes a ton of money and it is really good, and I see it in theaters, I'm like, wow, that was really good, because I would love for it to be good. But I don't have much high hopes for Mandalorian Grogu, to be honest. We also got an exclusive trailer for Toy Story 5, which, yes, the complaints of, gosh, they can't make anything original, they only have to do sequels, why are we getting this when Toy Story 4 was, like, the finale? Yes, I get all that, and I agree with that somewhat, but I am looking forward to Toy Story 5, at least more than I'm looking forward to Mandalorian Grogu, and I don't know what that says, but at least maybe I still like Toy Story more than I like Star Wars, at least. I do like Star Wars, just not a ton. I don't love it. I find myself with more Star Wars fatigue than Marvel fatigue, and I also have a little bit of Marvel fatigue, as like most people do. But I'm just hoping for the day that we get something good Star Wars, other than Andor. I do want to watch that. I will watch that soon. But yeah, Toy Story 5. They got some exclusive footage. The villain is a lily pad, like one of those tablets. It was pretty cool. I had one as a kid, so that kind of takes me back. I think that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely be there in theaters day one. They showed off a first look at Hexed, which is a new Walt Disney Animation Studios original film, which is awesome. It's a comedy adventure set in the world of magic. Haley Steinfeld will star as the main character Billy, and Rashida Jones will play her mother Alice, which is awesome. Yeah, I think that Disney has been killing it with a lot of their, at least lately in the last year, a lot of their original animated films have been great. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Maybe I'll see Hexed in theaters. I didn't end up seeing the latest one, Hoppers, in theaters, but I've heard people really liked it, and it's one I do want to see as soon as it comes to Disney Plus. I will definitely watch Hoppers. It's just when I was so busy around that time it came out, I just didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. But it was one I was interested in, at least. They got to see exclusive footage of the Moana live action, which I've seen this trailer in theaters a few times now, and it looks terrible. I will not be seeing. This is one I will not be seeing in theaters. It's so dumb. It is a really, you watch a trailer and you're like, yeah, this is a cash grab, and people are going to love it. People are going to eat this film up. But I don't see a point to this. It's just, no. It looks dumb. Like, it's pointless. So, but if you are looking forward to Moana live action, then it's coming out July 10th of this year, so not too far away from now. Next up, we didn't get to see it, but exclusively people at CinemaCon got to see footage of Ice Age Boiling Point, which, okay, I haven't watched an Ice Age movie in a while. I've seen them all, but I haven't seen them in a long, long time. But I am looking forward to seeing a new one. We haven't gotten a new one in a long, long time, and that's coming out February 5th, 2027, and I'm looking forward. I like Ice Age. What can I say? Next up, they got to see an exclusive clips from Devil Wears Prada 2. I just recently watched The Devil Wears Prada 1 about a month ago, and I really, really liked it, actually. I was shocked with how much I enjoyed the first film, so I am really looking forward to the sequel. This is one I'm definitely going to be seeing in theaters day one, weekend one, and definitely will have a video on the channel, or maybe we'll see we'll see the demand for a Devil Wears Prada 2 review on the channel. But this is at least a film that I am very much looking forward to. And it comes out pretty soon, in like just a week or two. This is a trailer that was actually released online, same time it was released at CinemaCon, and that is The Dog Stars. This is Ridley Scott's next film, starring Jacob Elordi and Josh Brolin and Margaret Qualley, so a pretty cool cast. It's kind of like a film about like a post-apocalyptic world. Jacob Elordi has a dog with him. Gunfights, shootouts, plane flying, horseback riding, chases. It looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I like the trailer. I thought the trailer looked interesting. Definitely will be seeing this film in theaters. Not a bad trailer, I must say. That's coming out August 28th this year. They got to see exclusive footage of a new movie called The Whale Fall, which is a pretty strange concept, but people said the trailer was really cool. It basically follows a guy who goes scuba diving and gets swallowed by a massive whale and has to get out of the whale. Which is gonna be interesting to see how that is as a movie. I'm excited to see for them to release a trailer to the public and see what exactly, because just from the way it's described, it sounds crazy, like bonkers. And people said it looked really good, so this is coming October 16th. Hopefully we'll get a trailer sometime soon. We also they saw some new footage of Wild Horse 9, which is a movie we already have a trailer for released. This is a new movie coming from John Malkovich and Sam Rockwell, coming from the same director of Banshees of Inisherin, which is a great film. And so I'm really looking for this. I really like the trailer that they released last month for Wild Horse 9. I thought the trailer looked awesome, so I'm definitely looking forward to this movie. And then finally, the big one, they ended off their CinemaCon panel with the big movie of the year, Avengers Doomsday. Yes, I do have some Marvel fatigue, but I can't lie and say that I'm not excited for Avengers Doomsday, at least from what they've described. They showed off a trailer. We didn't get to see it. It was only exclusively for the people in the theaters, but we've gotten a lot described about it. Dr. Doom has an accent. Dr. Doom looks awesome. Shang-Chi is fighting Gambit. We got all the characters that we were announced. They're showing up in the trailer. They look awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie. I can't lie. I can't say that I'm not excited for it. I am excited for it. As someone who still loves Marvel, who has seen all the Marvel movies, not all the shows, but at least all the movies, and just yearns for the old days of Marvel. Because, gosh, back in the day, like 2018, 2019, 2017, we were eating good with Marvel, and I kind of just miss that, low-key. Like, yes, I got a lot of superhero fatigue, like most people have these days, just because we were fed so much in the past few years. But low-key, I'm ready for another good, fun superhero movie like an Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, and I think Doomsday is gonna bring that, and so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to finally get a trailer released, like a full trailer released to the public. Get to see it. You know, Steve Rogers is back. Got all the people, the Wakandans, the Fantastic Four, Namor, Thor. Yeah, Steve Rogers has Mjolnir again. Just, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I think you know what? I'm in for this. I'm ready. I know a lot of people are like, I don't care for Marvel anymore. Like, that's fair, but I'm all in. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. This is coming out the same day as Dune Part 3. Now, I'll be honest, if you were to ask me what film I want to see, I'd rather see in theaters first, Dune or Endgame, my answer would actually be Dune, just because I am more excited for that. I cannot wait for Dune Part 3, as I said earlier in this video, but I'm still excited for Avengers Doomsday. Definitely will be seeing it shortly after. But that is all of the announcements at CinemaCon. Some big ones, some small ones, just some updates from films coming out soon. Some big announcements of new movies, like a new Bloodborne film. So that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what maybe was announced last week that you are most excited for. What film that I talked about today is like you cannot wait for the most. Maybe if I missed any announcements, also put it down in the comments below. And then, yeah, this Thursday, look forward to a Pragmata review. So that's going to be all. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.